The year started with a trailer.
Suddenly, you're accused of committing a crime, and now you're prohibited to leave town. Everyone hates you. You start to wander around, trying to ask questions using your microphone, but no one wants to talk with you until the giant policeman lifts you up in the sky. So, let me take a few minutes and explain how we got here. Let's take a step back. We've been thinking for a long while on how to turn the idea of a giant policeman into an interesting game. We've explored a lot of options, from the city on a giant's back to the road movie where you have to escape while the giant escorts you to the police station. But by far the most interesting one was a colossal giant that sits in the middle of a city watching your every move. Naturally, with this concept, we wanted to focus on stealth. The player had to sneak in the streets, hiding behind houses from the giant's gaze and from his giant hand. But in reality, it turned out to be less fascinating than just talking and having a simple eye contact with him. Well, but how do we make an interesting gameplay out of communication if we're not writers and we don't want to make a text-based game? To find an answer, we decided to redesign the basic dialogue tree that we're used to seeing in games and look into using free communication via microphone, like in the game Phasmophobia. This kept the focus of the game on exactly the very contact that we wanted to capture, adding an incredibly uncomfortable feeling of real physical interaction with the person. And I think the very peculiarity of this method will save us from the messy text that we're inevitably going to write.
The reception was a blast. With a new vector in our hands, we started to experiment. What if you could flatter a policeman? What if on the contrary you do something he doesn't like? Break the law, steal, climb the car, cross the road where you shouldn't. It started to become more like a proper gameplay mechanic. A mood system that works sort like of a Tamagotchi. Maybe the rain will upset him, or the thunderstorm will make him panic. Anger at him makes him angry. But if you make up for it somehow with a present, he'll be more forgiving. It started to turn into something like a dating simulator, where instead of a romantic relationship, you could go to jail. Having decided on the direction of the gameplay, we started to improve the overall quality of the visuals, starting with the Hello Man. We used an insane tool just released at the time, MetaHuman. Unfortunately, there's a limit on the type of face that you can create with it, so as a forced compromise, we had to search for a new look for the giant. Alongside with his face, we have renewed his shirt, it even moves in the wind. Pants and shoes we have left as is for now. In most cases they are not visible. For the new appearance we began to experiment with more detailed animations, behaviors and emotions of the Lawbringer. Parallel to the visuals, we have developed the train system. This is a vital part of the game and we're going to be used for all trains, trolleybuses and cable cars that we've planned. Summing up the results of all the work done, we recorded a small video together with which we announced the opening of the Patreon.
To be completely honest, yes, we expected this to blow up. It was an innovation. Never before we could afford such a quality. But not everything always goes according to plan. New Policeman's appearance wasn't liked by everyone. Turned out that a lot of unexpected problems arose in transition to a more realistic look. While working on the project for a long time, a veil can cover your eyes. Luckily, we are believers of an open development process, so, thanks to our audience feedback, we can instantly see our mistakes. By making the giant more alive and emotional, we're making him more human and less creepy. It's a very interesting observation, and in future iterations, we're planning to go back to this old feeling, but already in new, more elaborated and more high-quality form. After setting it aside to rest from the giant, we decided to work on townies. We want the town to feel empty, lonely, but still inhabited by people, so we could see life only behind closed doors, windows, and in the cars. Regarding locations and props, the work has never stopped. It is a very long process, and step by step we're getting closer, filling necessary gaps. Lately, we were researching the idea of the giant pushing the ground underneath him, so the city ends up on a slope. It's a little bit of an abstract concept, but visuals seems promising and interesting to try. We understand that not everyone will be willing to play our game with mic, and we're not even speaking about limitations in the recognition language. So, we've developed an alternative system of free communication. The player can use suggested phrases from the context menu alongside with the ability to pour out his soul, writing his own phrases. So, here we are now, migrating to the Unreal Engine 5. It's not quick, but eventually we'll have to move on to it, and sooner we do it, the better. Despite all the difficulties, this year began with a success and ended up with one. Our game has won the most awards at the Unreal Engine Dev Contest. Feels great to have some acknowledgement in our work. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in a longer format like this, we're planning to release the vlogs in the future. You can also look at our Patreon. We've already posted a bunch of videos where we talk in depth about technical difficulties, design, art and modeling. Let's make Militsioner together.